What have you learned so far? I know you haven't been doing it a long time, but I think you've been doing it longer than enough. We always try to educate, artists on the business side. What's that one piece of business advice you could give that maybe you've learned over the years that maybe before you started doing it professionally, you didn't know?
Business advice. I mean, I feel like that's a good question. When you say business advice, you mean like your LLC and write-offs? Okay.
Listen, you'd be surprised how many people don't even understand, like you say, depending on what your brand is. Like you say, getting an LLC for it, registering your music so you get your royalties. You'd be surprised how many people are just putting music out and they don't even understand they're supposed to register it. Like, and I'm a DJ, so I constantly have to educate them. So that's why I just wanted them to hear from you. Maybe it's something that along the way you ran into somebody or you were starting to start doing this and you were like, oh wow, I didn't even know that, and I had to go do my homework on it and to invest in it or learn how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some things I'm grateful that I know, like you mentioned, is royalties and registering with your pros like BMI, ASCAP, and also having an LLC because you want to protect yourself, and also all music is expensive. You're buying all this stuff, and you want to be able to write that off of your income, every year. So LLC is like critical. And as far as like if you're going to use a stage name like I am, it's important to go ahead and get that trademark, because I have heard some horror stories from other artists who came out and got big with a name and they never got that name patented or like trademarked, and so they have to change their name and everything. I mean, sometimes music is taken down. I mean, big repercussions behind not having a protected stage name. So that's what I would say, and try to get to know people in the business, because there's always something that you don't know that someone else knows,
Absolutely. I tell everybody, networking and building with people is very, very important. So you're absolutely right with that. Has there ever been anything challenging as for like moving in the industry? We know, unfortunately, this is more of a heavy male-driven industry. Has there ever been any challenges like, for you as a lady operating in this industry that, you didn't know about before you got into it?
What'd you say?
Before you got into it,
Well, as a lady, I would say yes. I would say yes. You have to be very mindful of how you come off when dealing with different people in the industry, especially like you said, it's male dominated. So like I would say, like, if you want to be treated with respect, you probably should. I know this might sound funny, but you probably should, take yourself more seriously, because I feel like some people are looking at you like this is just a game for you. You just want to do your nails and look cute. And so I would say, like, just take yourself very seriously, come dressed for success into the studio, like all those things matter, and kind of like let the person know that, okay, she's serious, she's different. But like, yeah, I would say it is very male dominated, and it should make women want to make sure that they just have all their stuff together and know enough about the business so that, in case you meet people who maybe aren't as serious as you in the craft, that you can also, take over and run your career, so.
No, that's good. So talk about it. You got this Crown of Glory EP out now. Talk about the inspiration in making this project, and, for someone who's never listened to it, what can they expect when they listen to this project?
They can expect the vibe, I always come with it. And I would say a lot of encouragement. There's a lot of scriptures woven into the lyrics. Expect something different, but not too off the wall different where you're confused. But like, yeah, I would just say expect a vibe. I've got like, some more moody. I got a moody song on there. It's kind of like more calm and chill. That's Psalm to Him, which is really popular now. It's really like blowing up. And I'm so grateful that people love that song, because I just kind of, I don't know. That was one of those songs where I was like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I really didn't expect people to like it and be drawn to it the way they are. And then Crown of Glory, I produced this entire EP, by the way. So I was just going with, with Crown of Glory. I was just, I really loved what I wrote. I was inspired by a scripture, and I just went with the vibe and just build upon that vibes. I feel like it has somewhat of like a trap R&B feel to it. And then Flourish, I feel like that's a very eclectic song. It's a vibey, eclectic, somewhat islandy R&B-ish vibe is on Flourish. So